Hey, how you doing? It's Friday the 27th of May 2022. It's Jonathan Royal here, or Alex William Smith by birth, of magicalguru.com. Just past couple of days I've had various people that I know mention that their stuff's been ripped off and appearing on the Chinese knockoff sites and whatnot. And largely in the magic arena, I've been speaking to people this week about it and drawn their attention to a friend of mine, Andrew T. Austin, who is an NLP practitioner and the creator of a thing called integral eye movement therapy, which will be of no interest to magicians or mentalists. However, I mention it because Andrew got really angry that his stuff's been ripped off and on the Chinese knockoff sites, and he's put together a series of videos explaining how you can get these sites removed from Google so that the pages get taken down, so that nobody can find them, so that ultimately nobody can then purchase the knockoffs, so that it stops affecting your income, and so that, you know, it becomes pointless for them to rip you off. Take a look at the video that's about to follow. It's one of the videos, but then you want to go and find Andrew's playlist, which the link will be below this on this video on YouTube, the link to go and watch the playlist that Andrew has put together explaining. Now, all of his videos talk about the personal development industry, hypnosis, hypnotherapy industry, and the examples he gives are of that. And I became aware of it because all of my hypnotherapy training has been ripped off in that manner. However, it will work the same way to get your magic and mentalism materials removed so that they don't appear on the sites, or at the very least, those sites no longer show up in Google so that people can't find them, and therefore people won't be buying knockoffs. If they want your stuff, they'll have to buy it through a proper outlet, as they should do in the first bloody place. Watch this little video that follows from Andrew T. Austin, and then hang on, because I will be back at the end with some other useful information for you, for those of you who sell digital download products.
Andy Austin here with a video to show you a little method for what you can do about these websites that are duplicating your material and selling them on your behalf and keeping the money. Now, this does require a bit of work on your part. It's not going to be one of those where if you just think about it, it's going to happen all by itself. I'm going to show you exactly what to do. It doesn't take too long, but it does take a little bit of effort. Something that many trainers and content developers seem to struggle with. Okay, so let me just change the setting here and I can show you what we do. So the first thing we've got to do is to find out which of the websites are indexed in Google for our own particular product. You can only report the pages that list your product. You can't report on behalf of somebody else unless you are appointed by that person. Don't be tempted to break the rules, because you can actually find yourself in trouble. Ironically, I know. So stick with the system. Now, obviously, the more content creators that report the site, requiring them to make an effort, then the greater the effect is going to be. The advantage of this is actually it's quite a quick system to use, and you can report multiple websites per product. And this is the important detail. We search on the product, you're reporting a copyright infringement of a particular product, and then you can name all the sites that are listing that product. And then you have to do that once per product. It's not a case of you just report a website that's listing 10 products and report that site. You're reporting infringements of copyright of a particular product. Now, obviously, the more people that actually do this, the more content creators actually follow this process, the more these sites get removed from the Google index. So if you can share this video with content creators who are being ripped off, encourage them to actually do something. I know it's going to be tricky, not the easiest thing to motivate the motivators. If they can actually do something about this following this process, then we will start to see results. So this is how it's done. Go to any of the bootlegging sites that have your product. I'm looking here at imhlab.com. Then what I've done is I've typed my name up into the search bar. These sites all use the same template. They look different, they have different appearances, but the actual content is fed in through a third party. So what I'm then going to do is I'm going to copy the exact name title that they have used, including the punctuation, keep that exact term. And then I'm going to go to Google and I'm going to paste that into Google, putting it in quotation marks that you can see up the top here. So that's in quotation marks, so it looks on that exact search string. And as you will now see in the first page, the top 10 results there, we got glucom.com, sunlearn.com, standbysun.com, all the Ledu, that's a new one on me, Ledu I guess that is, or Ledu, the learn.com. So the first page, they are all the bootleg sites. So that will probably go on for, oh, it keeps going. So there we have a nice little list of bootleg websites, some of which I've not seen before. So I'm going to report all those sites. We're reporting a copyright infringement of a specific product, not a bootlegging website. So when I go to the Google copyright removal system, I'm doing an infringement against a copyright of a product. It's an important distinction. It will make sense as we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in Google copyright removal into Google and in a new tab. So tabs here are your friend because it'll make it a lot quicker. Report content for legal reasons. I'm going to click there, and then you can read through this if you want to know the rules and how all this works. I'm going to then go create a request, and then now it starts to it's like a call center. So I've now got to find the one, and our purposes here is Google search. If it's on a Google website, you can have the whole website removed. So this is on Google search. We're removing things from the Google search returns, the Google index. And I'm going to go for Google search. Again, then we go down. I would like to report malware, phishing, similar issues, a piece of content I'm concerned about, personal information, intellectual property issue, report copyright infringement, other legal issue. So intellectual property issue. And now we're looking at copyright infringement. My copyright work is being used illegally without authorization. A counter notice, no. Circumvention, counterfeit, sale of counterfeit goods. Trademark. Okay, don't click the trademark. I made that mistake, and it takes you through this massive, great system, only to find out, unless you've got a registered trademark through a lawyer, through the trademark office, you can't do it. So we're looking here at sale of counterfeit goods. Request removal of a specific web page selling counterfeit goods. Oh yeah, don't click the one selling counterfeit goods. It takes you all around the houses. You type in loads of data, and then it wants your actual trademark legal thing, the bit of paper from the trademark office. So unless you've got an official trademark, then you don't want to click that button. You'll see. Click the other one instead, which I'm about to show you. And then go back. Create a request. So Google search. Google search. I would like to intellectual property issue. And now I'm going to go for copyright infringement. Is of myself? Yes, it is. Only the authorized copyright. All right, so now we've gone through to copyright removal. So it's worth reading through each of the pages. Once you've got it the first time, then it's going to be a lot quicker. Right, first name, surname, company name, association, blah. Copyright holder, self. I confirm that I'm a copyright holder. I better give the correct address there. Kingdom. Is this submission related to an unauthorized stream of an upcoming live event? No. Right, so identify and describe the copyrighted work. So I'm going to put online training program video. Integral eye movement therapy practitioner videos. Where can we see an unauthorized example of the work? So now they want to see the URL, so that's going to be, okay, so that's where the original product is, so that goes in there. Right, location of the infringing material. Please provide the URLs of the alleged infringing material you're asking us to remove. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one per line. I'm going to copy all of these into that little box there. Now, this is the quickest way to do that. This is where tabs are your friend. I'm going to go right-click, open a new tab, copy, and I can then close that, and I can go to here, and paste. Enter. Come back to here, right click, open a new tab, copy, and then close that, copyright removal, in there, enter. And I'm just going to go all the way down doing the same thing, opening in a new tab each time, so I can just copy that. Although that looks like that's gone already, but we'll stick it. Oh no, there it is. Obviously, some of these Google search returns, it's the same site, it's just giving different aspects of the same page, whatever. So let's go to there. So make sure you've got the right product page when you do that. Now, some of these pages are not necessarily going to be indexed in Google. So this one, if you look at this page here, this is what's indexed in Google. The product isn't. But I'm going to put both of those in anyway. So make sure you do get the correct URLs when you're posting them in. Google will just dump anyone that's not in the Google index anyway, so it doesn't matter. Right, so that's all of those. So that's now quite a few actually in that little box there. Now we just guys swear that I'm doing this in good faith. Everything I say is true. I understand, blah, blah, blah. Yes, it goes to public. Signed on this date of, what is the date? 26th. 26th. It's American, isn't it? So it's 09/26, 2020. Signature, Andrew T. Austin. I'm not a robot, at least not yet. And submit. Now, that's it. That's all you've got to do. Now, what I'm going to recommend you do, because it makes it easier to find later on, if you go to Removals Dashboard, and if you've got a Google account already, Gmail account, this will take you through to it. You'll see on here, there's an old one on there. This is what my test one I did before. I had 5 URLs put in, and they've all been removed. The one up the top here, you'll see if I click on that, there's the list I've just put in. Now this has taken about 4 weeks. What they've said to me is that it takes a little bit longer because of the COVID. They're not working quite so quickly. So normally it would take about a week. It's currently taking about 4 weeks. So don't expect anything straight away. What I'm going to recommend you do is once you've got your legal removal dashboard page, bookmark it so you can then check back later on. But I'd say be patient. So now, the more people that do this, the more these sites will be removed from the Google index. Now, obviously, it helps if mine don't get listed anymore. They're not going to be finding my product and then buying your product. If you get yours removed, they're not going to find your product on these sites, then go click through, oh, we'll buy Austin's too. You see how this works. So the more people that do this, the greater the effect is going to be. So good luck out there, those of you trying to motivate the motivators who can to take action. Use the comment section below if you've got any additional things that can be done. Let us know what you're doing as well. Do please click the like button because that helps promote it up the the YouTube algorithm. And hopefully we can have something done about this. Let's see what happens. Let's see what you're capable of.
Well, there you have it. That's one video from Andrew T. Austin. There's a lot more information on his playlist, which is at the link that you will find in the video description of this video on YouTube. Please share this with magicians, mentalists, hypnotists, everyone far and wide who are creators who may be getting their stuff ripped off so that they can go about stopping it from happening. Now, one of the things you can do is if you're selling your own creative materials, obviously if you're distributing through magic distributors and such like, then they really need to be looking at some way of watermarking PDFs that get downloaded There are ways of doing this. That's something they should be looking into. If you're selling stuff yourself, one service that I know that does this is Sellfy. That's sellfy.com. Sellfy.com. The link will be below this video on YouTube description, where to find out more about them. If you have PDFs for people to download, it will watermark it with that person's name and email address, so that if they were to share that PDF anywhere, you will be able to trace who had illegally shared it, and thus could take appropriate legal action, which is what needs to be done. If people know they can be caught, then they're less likely to go ahead trying to rip people off. That's the other thing that can be done. Hope you found this video useful. Please share it far and wide. There will be links below this video on my Celebrity Hypnotist YouTube channel, youtube.com/Celebrity Hypnotist. Click on the videos and look for the video that will be along the lines of how to get bootleg materials removed from the internet. Okay, bye for now.